Through 14 MLS matches in 2026, Messi played 1,250 minutes with 13 goals from an expected 13.0 xG, maintaining a 0.94 xG per 90 rate. These aren't inflated statistics against weak opposition. They reflect sustained excellence matching his expected output. That is the case for MLS's evolution beyond the retirement league label. But here is the other side of the argument, published by a different outlet the same season. Major League Soccer has yet to shed its status as a retirement league as teams continue to bring in big-name international stars past their prime. Two completely opposite conclusions. Same league. Same 2026 season. This video does not pretend the debate is settled, because it is not. It gives you the actual evidence on both sides, the teenage goalkeepers starting for MLS clubs, the American prospects earning transfers to Europe, and the 39-year-olds and 37-year-olds still headlining the league's biggest storylines. By the end, you decide. This shift has been largely successful. Players like Alphonso Davies, Duran and Brendan Aronson earned hefty transfers overseas, while rising prospects like Cavan Sullivan, Owen Wolff and Xavier Gozo highlight the next generation of American soccer. MLS has become a haven for young players, especially U.S. talents. Through the first 8 match days, it's become clear that the league is a young player's paradise, more than it ever has been. The specific individual cases matter here. In a league where 39-year-old Hugo Lloris stands as the best goalkeeper so far in 2026, 19-year-old Duran Feree has established himself as a critical piece of San Diego FC's roster build, one of the few teenage starting backstops in the world's top 10 leagues, with 3 clean sheets through 7 matches. A 19-year-old goalkeeper starting ahead of veteran competition and performing at a level compared favorably to the best in the world's top leagues is not something a genuine retirement league produces. At the start of the season, plenty of eyes circled in on the Philadelphia Union's Cavan Sullivan. The 15-year-old signed to a pre-contract with English Premier League giants, Manchester City. A 15-year-old MLS Academy product already secured by one of the biggest clubs in world football is the single strongest piece of evidence that the league's development pipeline is producing genuine elite-level talent rather than simply hosting fading stars. Soccer legends who played at the biggest stage can certainly help the performance on the field, but they can also help boost the careers of young talents. This is the case at Orlando City, where Griezmann is passing on his experience to rising talents like the 19-year-old homegrown player Justin Ellis. The New York Red Bulls have a similar situation where talents Julian Hall and Adrien Mehmeti are benefiting from playing day in and day out with veteran players Emil Forsberg and Eric-Maxime Choupo-Moting, who have collected years of experience playing in the Bundesliga, Champions League, and the Swedish and Cameroon national teams. This is the argument that reframes the entire debate, that the aging stars are not evidence MLS is a retirement league, but rather a mechanism actively accelerating young American talent development. The MLS might still be clearly behind the European top soccer leagues such as the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, or Serie A, but people might underestimate the level and potential that is growing in the United States, partially thanks to superstars who impact the level of play and pass on their skills to the next generation. Under this framing, Messi, Griezmann, and Lewandowski are not symptoms of a retirement league. They are the mechanism by which MLS accelerates the development of the next Alphonso Davies. Here is the honest counter-argument that a proper assessment of this debate requires. Major League Soccer has yet to shed its status as a retirement league as teams continue to bring in big-name international stars past their prime this season. Those clubs also made the playoffs in 2024 without their new former international stars. It can also be said that these clubs could have invested the money spent on these players in developing exciting youth talent instead. There has been a greater focus on acquiring older, proven talent from MLS squads in the past and present. I wish there were more youthful signings, but there's a reason why there aren't. That reason why there aren't is structural, not accidental. MLS has a soft cap per player at about $743,750 per year. The designated player rule allows teams to pay 3 players above that rate. The salary structure itself creates a specific incentive pattern. Clubs cannot compete for prime-age elite talent within the cap, but the designated player exception makes signing an aging star, whose wage demands have often decreased from their peak years, financially achievable in a way that competing for a 26-year-old at the height of their value is not. This is what makes the debate genuinely difficult to resolve. The exact same player is used as evidence for both sides of the argument. Griezmann is 35, Lewandowski is 37, and Messi is 39. Antoine Griezmann joined Orlando City after recording 7 goals and 4 assists in 34 La Liga matches and helping Atletico Madrid reach the Champions League semifinals, while Robert Lewandowski scored 116 goals during 4 seasons with Barcelona before signing through the 2027-28 MLS season. These aren't players seeking anonymity, they're maintaining elite standards while choosing MLS as their competitive platform. For those arguing MLS has evolved, Messi's continued World Cup-level performance while playing MLS football is proof the league's competitive standard has not degraded elite players, it has coexisted with elite performance. For those arguing MLS remains a retirement league, the very fact that MLS's most important player and its most discussed recent signings are all in their mid to late 30s is itself the evidence. MLS will undoubtedly have to improve its depth, roster rules, and week-to-week consistency, but Messi's World Cup has already supplied a form of legitimacy that cannot be dismissed. Even the strongest advocate for MLS's evolution has to concede that depth, roster rules, and week-to-week consistency remain genuine unresolved problems, meaning that no longer a retirement league case is a case for direction and trajectory, not a case that the label is already fully outdated. The honest reason this debate persists without a clean resolution is that MLS in 2026 is genuinely operating as 2 different leagues simultaneously, and both descriptions are accurate depending on which part of the roster you are looking at. At the very top of the marquee, the designated player slots, the biggest transfer headlines, the players who generate global media coverage, MLS remains overwhelmingly a league of players in the second half of their careers, using the designated player exception to sign talent whose peak years happened elsewhere. Beneath that marquee tier, the homegrown roster spots, the academy graduates, the superdraft picks, MLS is genuinely producing and developing elite young talent at a rate that did not exist a decade ago, with players like Duran Feree, Cavan Sullivan, and the Alphonso Davies pipeline representing a development infrastructure that simply was not there before. The retirement league debate is not actually a single question with a single answer. It is 2 separate and simultaneously true stories about 2 different parts of the same league. If the question is, does MLS still sign aging global superstars as its most prominent commercial strategy? The honest answer, based on Messi, Griezmann, and Lewandowski all headlining the 2026 season, is yes, unambiguously. If the question is, has MLS's young talent development pipeline meaningfully improved to the point where genuine elite prospects are emerging from within the league itself? The honest answer, based on Duran Feree, Cavan Sullivan, and the Alphonso Davies precedent, is also yes. The retirement league label was never fully accurate even at its peak. MLS has always had both categories of player. What has genuinely changed is the strength and visibility of the young talent pipeline, which is real, verified, and growing. What has not changed is the club's continued reliance on the designated player exception to sign stars in the back half of their careers as the league's primary global marketing strategy. Both things are true. Neither cancels the other out. MLS is not fully a retirement league anymore. It is also not fully not a retirement league. It is a league that has genuinely built a young talent pipeline capable of producing 15-year-old prospects who sign with Manchester City, while simultaneously continuing to build its biggest commercial storylines around players in their late 30s. Both are true, verified, and happening in the same season. Drop a comment below telling us where you land on this debate, and which young MLS player you think will be the next Alphonso Davies. Subscribe and turn on notifications for every major MLS and American football development story as the season continues.